Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Hello. So good to see those of you who are already in there waiting and have said hello. If you're there and you haven't said hello yet, tell us where you are and say hey. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Bob. Hey, Peter. Rafie's in the house. Graham. Louie. Jason. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
So glad you're here. Try and get over this again.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Here we are. Any initial opinions or memories on Times Squared? Let us know. Have you seen it recently? If not, can you remember what you thought of it
I'm
and how you slept through it? Thanks, Louis, for saying glad we're here. Oh, Peter's complimenting your tunic, Chris. He was hoping for that.
I'm a lieutenant commander.
So, are you going to say anything about the color?
Yeah. Is there anybody have any feelings about the color of my tunic? Just curious before we get started here.
Hey, Stefan.
I got into, it does look blue now, doesn't it? But when we got it, it looked very green in different lighting. And the lighting makes a huge difference. And there's a whole, it's teal. Officially, it's not blue, it's teal.
It's very green when I'm looking at it. But with green behind you, that helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Peter says it does seem kind of teal.
But that's supposed to be. It's officially teal and gold and burgundy for the command. And but the point is, it always looks blue. There's a whole website devoted to the color of the next gen tunics. And all the different the screenshots from all the different episodes. There's even an episode where Bev is walking with another medical guy, and they're not the same color. They're different shades of teal.
Oh, brother. I should be into it because it's costumes. Hey, Forrest. Welcome. Hey, Keith. Jason's saying, did you throw up a
teal? I was showing my pips. I was using two fingers. It does kind of look like a gang sign, but no. I'm in no gang. Except the gang of Trek.
Yeah? Alison says if it's green like a duck or blue like a duck, it must be teal. That's how it works.
That old saying. Yeah, I remember that one. That's a good one.
Now, Rafe's coming in with a real opinion here about the episode. It gives Patrick Stewart some good opportunities to perform. It does. Everybody in the cast tries very hard.
They do try very hard.
They do.
Oh, Louis Carter says, I have thoughts. I recently watched a few episodes ahead of you and thought, wow, once they get a few episodes forward, they're going to have a run of a good few episodes coming up. Yay!
Yeah, let's look forward to that.
Yay. I'm kind of really into myself. This tunic is really high.
Giving you something. Ooh, very slimming. All right, let's go for it, shall we?
Shall we get started with the episode? So, Rachel.
Yeah?
The crew of the Enterprise encounter a double of Captain Picard, apparently from the future. What do you think you're going to get?
So he'll be from another dimension. I really hope the shenanigans will ensue and people will confuse one for the other. Some twin times.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He'll be naughty and pompous, the other guy, but not evil. Data will solve it and Guinan will counsel one of them. That
does sound like a solid episode of Star Trek. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what we're going to get.
I know that now.
So I'll be Riker, you be Pulaski.
Okay.
Come on in. Excellent. Exactly what I need. Mr. Worf and the good doctor bearing gifts.
Ale from Annan 6. Your omelets deserve no less.
That sounds just like her.
Welcome to Rachel Watches Star Trek here on the live stream on YouTube and edited down for you if you're listening to this on the podcast. Welcome to everyone listening now and welcome to everyone joining us on the live stream. I'm Rachel Lackey.
And I'm Lieutenant Commander Chris Lackey.
Here, if you can't see him, with his teal Lieutenant Commander outfit.
Teal. Yeah, I've been on the internet. Have you been on the internet before?
I've heard of it.
And people have discussions about things that they like or dislike. And I realize that I get a little annoyed when people say things like, this is bad or this is good, especially when it comes to art. However, I do know that we often say things are good or bad on the show.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that's just our opinion. Like I'm not absolutely saying in the cold darkness of the universe that an episode is good or bad. It's just that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Are other people trying to definitively prove things are good or bad out there?
No. I just remember somebody saying something about a particular episode or a movie that I really enjoyed, and they go, "Oh, that's terrible." Mm-hmm. I was like, "It's not terrible." I mean, objectively, I wouldn't say it is terrible. It was a well-produced film. It had good acting. Maybe you didn't like it, or maybe it is bad, but I still like it.
Well, let's see how impartial we can be as we go through this.
Forrest Rush says, "Chris, I'm getting strong Yomler vibes off that tunic. You sure that's the right number of pips? Lieutenant Commander, 2 solids and a hoop."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bob says, y'all really dislike Pulaski. Well, we have. We have disliked her. I think she gives it a good old go in this episode. Let me know what you think, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has her moments, doesn't she?
She does have her moments. Let's get into this episode.
John Hazard says,
sure.
If it's just your opinion, but if you say this episode is bad, you would be correct. Yes. Yeah. And John loves Pulaski. Well, someone's got to.
Yeah. Now, I can defend why I think something is bad objectively, because there are certain rules to making a film or writing a story that, one could adhere to or diverge from making something good or bad. So
let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it.
Okay.
En route to the Endicor system, Riker is making an omelet for Worf, Data, and Pulaski.
He enjoys hacking an egg in half in his hand, which is where a lot of middle-class avocado accidents go awry and end up in the A&E. He's quite smug about whisking and heating an egg.
And wasn't me.
That's all he's doing.
It looked like he had a ton of eggshell in there when he cracked it.
Oh.
It really did. I might have been mistaken, but it sure looked like it. And I think that's probably one of those things, HD versus regular television, where they're just like, oh, nobody can see it on regular TV.
Maybe that's how they like it. And he likes using his little Benihana hot plate, doesn't he, to give us a little show. Woo woo, the onion ring train's coming along. Oh, those places are so tedious, guys. Is this going to be another divisive issue like IKEA? Does everybody like those places where they do the show with the fire and stuff? Maybe it's because we don't eat meat. We don't really get it.
Oh, right, yeah.
So Pulaski's all, ooh, you pour eggs so well. How did you learn that? Oh, my dad, because he wouldn't cook. Because my mum died. Oh. Do they cook normally on planets, but just not on ships?
I don't know. I thought everything would just be replicated, and because they can make whole dishes just pop up like transport. So why would anybody cook except if you're just into cooking? And obviously he says in this episode, there's a standard, like burrito that you would get, but I can make it a very special way. There's that flair, that human love, that goes into it, that element.
Rafe's saying the dread avocado palm. Have you been there, Rafe? And Alison's saying it's best to be thoughtfully critical, but it's really fun to be judgmental.
It is.
I totally agree.
Oh, side tangent. Rachel and I are absorbed with Ted Lasso right now.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good. It's about an American guy who comes to coach a football, an English football team. And it's not the kind of thing I would ever think I was into. And there's
hardly any sport in it.
Yeah, we just totally adore it.
Is it on Apple TV?
It's on Apple TV.
Not that many people might have that, but if you have it or can get it, please see Ted Lasso. It's so heartwarming, so funny. Yeah. Oh God, I'm so sad that we're watching our last episode tonight.
Oh my God.
John Hazard agrees. Yes,
it's really good. It's just so many likable characters. It feels like one of those shows that doesn't come around very often, where you just like everybody.
Yeah. Apart from.
But there was a line in there, without ruining anything, where Ted Lasso, this is what made me think of it. He says, there are 2 types of people. There's judgmental people and curious people. And the judgmental people, they think they know everything. And so
they don't try and learn.
But the curious people, they have an open mind. They're willing to learn. They're willing to take in new things. So yeah,
I'm going to try and be more curious. Andrew's in for Ted Lasso as well. Yeah. And Forrest says no replicator is just part of that Riker parenting. So his dad just chose to have no replicator.
Oh yeah,
You don't want those kids to be entitled, do you? We've had that whole thing today again because it was another day off school.
We get to meet Riker's dad next episode, which is pretty.
Is he a real piece of work?
Yeah, he's a piece of work.
Okay, let's see about these eggs.
Right, yeah. So he's using Uwan eggs picked up on Starbase 73, and they taste really gross.
Does anybody know what an Uwan is? Is it an alien reptile or bird or?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, an alien itself.
It looks disgusting, as in when they put it in their mouths, they are about ready to vom.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. Except for Worf. Worf loves it.
Yeah, of course he does.
And you know, I really love this levity in this episode. This is kind of, unfortunately, the best part for me.
Yeah.
Because they're just people hanging out, and they've got their differences, but they're interesting, and yeah, it's fun, and I appreciate that type of stuff on this Star Trek. We were talking about with Discovery. There's not a lot of levity in it.
No.
There's a few moments here and there, but
it never gets silly.
It doesn't really.
Well, not very often.
Yeah.
I don't. A bit was silly, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tilly was silly. Silly was Tilly. Is she still?
Yes. So Riker heads to the bridge. Riker heads to the bridge where Starfleet shuttlecraft has been identified adrift in space. They tractor it in, and it's weird because it's a duplicate of one of the ships that they already have in the dock. And when they open it up, inside they find a passed out Picard.
He looks like a kid pretending to be asleep. Stuart's just got his eyes really screwed tightly shut, didn't you think?
Yeah, well, and they did some kind of makeup thing with him.
Yeah, they kind of contoured him to look a bit
alive.
And Mark's pointing out, they say he's making an omelette. He's clearly just making scrambled eggs.
Yes.
I mean, barely even that. Did he even add anything to it?
That was it. Yes, it was scrambled eggs. That is not an omelet. But maybe in the future, what an omelet is changes. You never know with these things.
I've got some more egg news later.
Oh, okay. That's exciting. Looking forward to that. I love egg news.
Yeah.
Pulaski finds that his brainwaves are out of phase, although Troy can pick up some stuff, some actual information that other people can't get.
She's actually involved in this episode.
Yeah.
Woo!
She says he is as much Picard as the captain that she's talking to.
But how can she both pick up very little about it and know that for sure?
Well, there's an intuitive familiarity with it where she's like...
She knows him, so she knows what is and isn't him.
Yeah, and she's like, that's you, but it's off or different in some way. Maybe?
Oh, you made sense of that. That's good.
That's one of the few things in this episode.
John says, come for the uniform, stay for the egg news later. That's how we reel you in.
Oh, egg news. So they decide to look for logs, but the shuttle is completely drained of energy. So we've got this huge, long time filler of scenes with Geordi and Data trying to get the shuttle up and running. So many
scenes. They short out its circuits and poor little Data gets electrocuted, but he's fine.
It doesn't bother him, no. That's the issue with this episode, is that they don't ever really raise the stakes. Like usually with a good story, something happens, there's some kind of conflict gets resolved in some way, and the stakes are raised. But we kind of hit a flat plane that we never really get to any sort of resolution till the very end. And
just thinking it through most of the episode.
Yeah. And I think that's where this episode falls, because there is no like, oh, we're notching it up. It's pretty much revealed almost immediately that it's Picard from the future.
Yeah.
From 6 hours in the future, which I'm jumping the gun.
A buffet. No, it's like a 7-course meal. The first course is omelette, and then the second course is omelette. And then by the third course, they admit it's actually scrambled eggs. And it just goes on like that. You think that's a really good analogy?
That is a perfect analogy. Yeah. I couldn't have come up with anything better myself. Where do we live?
In sick bay, Dr. Pulaski determines that sleeping Picard has erratic readings. Picard is determined to wake him up and have some twin fun. But when Pulaski gives him a neck shot, his vital signs drop to 0. And she has to reverse it to bring him back. Because
everything's opposite. Because from the future? And this annoyed me. This did not make any sense at all. Because if you give him a stimulant, he goes to a sedative, he wakes up. Why? He's from the future. He's not from opposite world.
Dimension.
Yeah.
Is he?
No. He's from the future. He's out of sync with time. Okay, whatever that means. I'll buy that. But then why is his vitals working differently or oppositely?
Is he only from their future?
Yeah, he's from.
Why are the two of them? Oh, I haven't understood this episode at all.
He's from 6 hours in the future.
I get that, but I thought also from another dimension or something. Okay,
no.
Peter said maybe they were trapped in a no drama vortex. Oh, definitely going towards it.
That explains it. Oh, Bizarro card.
What?
Force Rush says he's Bizarro card.
He's Bizarro Picard.
Me hate you. Have a good day.
But during this time, we discovered, says Bob, that some coma patients react positively to depressants. Oh. So wonder if they were saying something about that, or if that was just a coincidence. But that's good to know, isn't it?
Could be.
It stimulates them, actually.
Meanwhile, LaForge and Data give us some more information. It's kind of a filler thing. After some adjustments and fiddling with stuff, Data suggests doing the opposite polarity, I guess, to get the energy is negative, so they're going to make it positive.
Worth a try.
And it works. They get the shuttle back online.
This reminds me of my wonderful musical Return to the Forbidden Planet, where they have everybody reversing the polarity. And this was before I'd watched any Star Trek or any sci-fi, but everyone in the audience had to go reverse the polarity, and you had to do the thing, and then they start singing, I know something about love. Oh, it was so good. I wish it could be there right now. Can't find it online, guys.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I've never.
Yeah, so good.
I almost didn't believe that it existed until I found evidence online. I thought it was a fevered dream of yours. LaForge sees that the stardate is 6 hours from the future and deduces that the other Picard must also be from that time.
What does everybody think about this choice of doing 6 hours into the future? Any opinions on that one?
Well, I mean, you could do a lot in 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like you would know what was going to happen in the day if there was a stock market or something like that. You could know which way the stocks are going to go and invest your money. But 6 hours really isn't much to make a huge difference. Or if, say, an airplane's going to crash on your house, you can make sure you're not in that house.
If you knew how to fix it, you could.
Yeah.
Well, here's what teleplay writer Maurice Hurley said. We've seen a lot of people do time backs and force and jumps around. They're always coming back 500 years or 1,000 years. Nobody's ever really come back 6 hours. 6 hours is what fascinated me. Well, agree to disagree on that one.
You could know. Rafe says you can know not to eat Riker's omelet. There you go. That's true.
Future Picard is distressed and confused in sick bay still. He doesn't speak because they didn't want him to get his SAG card. They have a meeting. The shuttle's visual log shows a distortion, cloudy, swirly stuff, and the shuttle leaving the Enterprise, with future Riker waving goodbye to it. Well, watching anyway. Then the Enterprise being destroyed. Future Picard's log says everyone's dead.
They realize that they may have already committed to a series of unalterable events, meaning that they're in like a time loop, which we've seen before in other things, where you can't actually change the future. That's the whole issue of this episode is, are we stuck in a loop where the future is determined and there's nothing we can do about it?
Right. So it's not just that it's predestined, it's that something is altering it every time they do to make sure they still
that everything that they do, because they have such a small amount of information, there's nothing that they can do to alter what's going to happen, or at least they think that might be the case.
But even just by knowing that it blows up, that Picard, our Picard would act differently from his counterpart, and it wouldn't go the same way, would it?
Well, as far as we know, that Picard encountered a Picard on his version of it.
Right. Oh, right.
And he could be our Picard and it just keeps looping around. Obviously, that's not what happens, but that's what they're thinking, and that's why they're worried, is because they're like, well, what's going to happen.
Well, Louis says the problem is no matter how far in the future they've come from, it doesn't have much effect because future Picard is in a brain fog for most of it, so can't influence the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
That just makes it really boring.
It does. It does make it really boring. Pulaski theorizes that as they move closer to the time of the explosion, which is when the other Picard left his time period, his internal body clock will realign. And so as they get closer to that, he's going to be more in phase with time.
Yeah. Is he in stasis? Is he not progressing in time at all?
Well, he's getting more normal. Like he's able to talk. He's not in this fugue state any longer.
But we're getting more towards his time.
Yeah.
Where it diverged, but he's not also moving forward in time?
Beats me. I think what they're saying is by him going back in time, he's out of sync, and then he's going to resync at exactly the same point as he left. So if he didn't die, he would be back on track.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. I don't think it makes any sense, but that's what
the logic.
That's what they're going with, right?
Rebecca says, let's do the time loop again.
Let's just jump to the left.
And Mark says there's a much better short time loop episode later.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter says, wasn't Data just a few minutes out of phase in the French cafe episode when he had to decide which of him to chuck in the antimatter? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
But that was good.
They actually bring up that episode a little later in this episode.
Troy begins to feel super strong Picard feelings.
Okay, you be Picard, I'll be Troy. I am able to feel much more from him now. Captain, his emotions are still a jumble, but...
Counselor.
He desperately wants you to leave the ship.
But that was good.
Thank you.
But she also does lots of...
Couldn't remember exactly what was going on.
Is it because he thinks it's going to blow up? They're not changing course because they think nothing they do will make a difference?
Well, what we find out later is that he leaves the ship because he thinks that the entity, I'm spoiling things, the entity wants him, and that if he leaves the ship, the entity is going to leave the ship alone. Mm-hmm. So that's why he's like, I gotta get off the ship.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't. Exactly.
Future Picard. Nope. I did say that.
Oh, no, you didn't. Did you?
I don't understand why they don't change course.
Yes. Well, they don't change course because if they don't know what their actual future is, because Picard won't tell them. So if they change course, that might be part of their future. Mm-hmm. So if it's like a time loop, like we're a reoccurring, a la Terminator, then by them going, oh, well, let's change course, and they change course right into the thing that they were trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the time loop. But they don't know. They don't know if they're in a time loop or not.
God, I think it'd be worth doing something.
That's... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Future Picard is becoming coherent. Cue our Picard laying into him for abandoning the Enterprise. Troy feels protective and saying he's afraid, he's in another dimension, he's seeing just shapes and colors, he doesn't know what's going on. Remember the scientist in We'll Always Have Paris. He was absolutely off his trousers, wasn't he? So it's that similar type of thing, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. It's weird because Picard is really angry at Picard. He goes, it's not me. I would never abandon my ship. And Pulaski tells him, he leaves. And then Pulaski says to Troy, he goes, I bet the captain's losing a little bit. And if he doesn't pull his act together, I'm going to relieve him of duty.
Troy is very defensive, actually, and protective of Picard.
Yeah.
Just giving her the real stink eye, saying, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I thought for sure, she's doing the right thing. Picard's being weird in this episode. I don't like the way they wrote him. Like he yells at other Picard.
Well, yeah, he's not usually that easily rattled, is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He assumes that he's abandoned ship, and he knows he'd never do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's only him from 6 hours into the future for crying out loud.
There's got to be a reason for it. And if you just hold your horses, you're going to figure it out.
Trying to keep up with you and the script and the comments.
What's going on?
We'll have to have a look at some of them later, everybody. They're coming in fantastic. So Picard and Riker debate how the time travel happened. Maybe the slingshot effect around a star from Tomorrow Is Yesterday.
Yeah, and Star Trek 4,
Ooh,
The Voyage Home. That's how they get to 1980s San Francisco.
Yay! They bring up the Traveler from where no one has gone before, and Mannheim's experiments with time and will always have Paris. So it's nice they've bothered to read the scripts or watch the shows and draw a little bit out of that.
Yeah.
Throw us a bone. Riker says, suppress your natural tendencies to try and solve this. We don't even know what the problem is. Just wait. That seemed a bit convenient.
Yeah, but again, it makes really boring television.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait.
John says he would be mad at himself too. So he identifies with this angry Picard, actually.
Well,
Peter says, well, Picard was beside himself.
I like that. That's
Peter.
Good. But I mean...
watch the screen. Thanks, Louis. Yes, please do keep saying that. We're fine.
I would have more faith in myself.
Yeah.
If I was from the future and I was acting all weird and I did something that was bizarre, I would go, you know what? I probably had a really good reason, and I bet it will eventually show itself why I did the thing that I did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to yell at like half drugged
you
out.
Butthole, why did you? Yeah, just as it's coming round.
Oh, you're a stupid butthole and you've got an ugly face and you're stupid. I hate you.
You'd think, I'm sure you did your best and did what you thought was the right thing. Now, what was it? and John's saying that's one of the redeemable things about this episode, that it helps you think about trusting yourself to have done the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
But what if your future self had seemingly done the wrong thing? That's supposed to be the heart of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just don't quite come off.
Yeah. And again, I think it's because the stakes aren't high enough. I mean, obviously the whole Enterprise is destroyed and he left the ship, but
but not our Enterprise.
It doesn't feel like it would be bizarre enough. Like if there was video footage of Picard phasering everybody, then you're like, whoa,
what happened to
what's
you?
going on there? But I can come up with, half a dozen reasons.
You still wouldn't shout at him, would you? It'd obviously be some kind of alien takeover or a virus or any number of things we've had.
They live in the Star Trek universe. Like crazy stuff happens all the time.
Yep.
Where were we?
Suddenly an energy vortex.
Oh, yes. Suddenly the energy vortex appears beneath the Enterprise. Gases are being sucked in.
What gases, though?
Space gases. I don't know.
Space gases.
Time gases.
Oh, right.
The fabric of reality. I don't know.
Time gases.
LaForge has to hold the warp engines at 30% just to maintain their position. They are getting probed, and Picard decides to stay to investigate. Then he second guesses himself and he thinks, oh, wait a minute, maybe this is what I did last time. So why don't we warp away? So he goes, kick into warp 7, let's get out of here. But of course it makes it worse and they're getting pulled in even harder.
So distracted by the whole group stand-up routine that's going on.
What is it?
They should have brought the stakes from the last episode, with the gambling and everything. Yeah. Stefan.
When the train comes in, everybody rides.
Lots of confusing back and forth now between the two Picards. Don't you know the Enterprise will blow up if you do that? You've seen that once. No, I have to do it. There's another way, but I won't tell you what it is. Is it this? Is it this? Is it going into the vortex? Aha, you flinched. So now we've got an idea.
Oh, yeah. So future Picard is now talking and he must leave. He says the vortex wants him. It thinks that he's the brain of the Enterprise, and Picard tries to get more information, but he's resisting, I guess, because he's not in sync still. So he's still not quite himself.
And Wookiee Claw, is saying Picard is scared. Fear makes us do irrational things, and anger's a good defense against fear. So Picard's yelling at himself to defend against his fear. That's
good. That's some good insight.
Yeah.
It wasn't communicated in the episode to me,
but I like your interpretation.
But I like your sticking up for the home team.
Yeah. Picard orders full speed ahead into the vortex, and in they go. Future Picard and his shuttle vanish, and then the Enterprise bursts. Whoa. Oh, we haven't said he's killed him yet.
Yeah, no, you jumped ahead. Oh yeah, so it's me. So they get into the shuttle bay. Future Picard's getting in the shuttle to go out again, and our Picard says, "No, we're not going to do that. And he pulls out a phaser and he shoots himself
In the chest.
in the chest, like kills him. Like that's a regular phaser blast. It's not a stun setting. Why? Why did he kill him?
Guess you don't need to. He's not doing anything interesting.
It was so brutal. It just kind of hurt my heart a little bit and seemed weird. Like there's no reason to kill him.
Yeah.
Just stun him.
Stun him.
But I guess.
And then what? You can't keep him around. Is he supposed to just resync later?
I don't know, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't kill a future version of myself unless I had a goatee and a scar on one eye and I was trying to kill people. Then maybe I would kill myself.
Then maybe.
Yeah.
So am I on to they launch a probe?
Then Picard calls O'Brien and finally Pulaski to the shuttle bay, and they see. Yeah, because O'Brien, I saw his name was on the episode. I gotta.
Oh, watch the screen.
Watching the screen.
Gotta sign it back in. Is suicide punishable by death in Star Trek? Good point. Good question, Bob. Probably.
No.
Isn't it?
There's no.
Kill yourself.
There is no death penalty in Star Trek except for what was it going to the planet?
Is suicide punishable by death? I just got it.
Well, in Star Trek, it could work. Yeah, you could
revive
kill yourself, and then you're going, you know what, you should die for that. But yeah, I didn't get that joke either. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the sound. We're very slow.
There's a lot of fart talk on there.
Space gases. That was my fault.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I started
the omelets.
The omelets, yeah. So with O'Brien, good old Colm. Is that how it's pronounced? Colm? C-O-L-M? Colm Meany? Yeah. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah, we know. Head of the fan club.
I am head of the fan club. And Pulaski are in the shuttle bay. So Picard says, order full speed ahead into the vortex, the opposite thing that's supposed to happen. And all of a sudden, they're not there anymore. Future Picard and future shuttle, they vanish. Everything's fine.
They burst back into normal space, and you woke me up.
You were falling asleep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
I've watched it again since.
Yes.
To be professional.
You are professional. Professional what?
Professional what?
Now, Picard reflects with Riker on meeting himself, and he wasn't a fan.
Lots of questions, number one. Damn few answers. That's so bad.
Maybe none of it was real. Perhaps we were all part of a shared illusion.
Or maybe he was thrown back in time so that we would be able to take another road, make a different choice. Well, they say if you travel far enough, you will eventually meet yourself. Having experienced that, number one, it's not something I would care to repeat.
I'll be on the bridge, sir.
I don't know.
And that's the end
of that ordeal.
Episode. Oh. I'm just seeing what some people wrote here.
Peter says once they pass through the vortex, drama returns. See? So it was sucking all the drama out.
It was sucking it out.
Bob, harsh, but that's the best review. And then I woke up. What was the original planned stinger, Rafe? What was it? Was it another bad review? I probably missed an earlier.
Okay, that's all right. Let's talk about concept, shall we?
Of the random people.
Oh no. So Rafe says, apparently to make up for his omelet, Riker had them back to cook Alaskan stew.
Yeah, and then they cut that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least that would have made some sense of the previous scene.
Except for Worf, who says, I'd rather have another omelet.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom! Yeah. So that would have been better. Might as well put that sort of zaniness in.
Yeah, I love zaniness. So concepts.
Okay. Well, you've just nicked my first bit of concept, Rafe. Jeez. So let's talk about eggs, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the things that lay some eggs and we can eat them.
Okay, let's do it.
An emu makes a 12-egg omelet, 12 chicken egg omelet.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's considered the richest in flavors of any egg. Ostrich is twice as big as that.
Ooh.
Takes 1.5 hours to hard boil.
Mm-hmm.
And tastes like a buttery chicken egg. Supposed to be very nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Goose eggs have been called funky, weird, and bland. Don't know how you can be all three of those. Whereas guinea hen eggs are considered some of the best. Thank you, Peter. Excellent fat. They're not over yet. Ant eggs are nutty. And there's a market for gull eggs, but there are a lot of laws around collecting those because that's just stealing them. You can't farm gulls, can you? I mean, I don't think.
Why isn't that stealing from chickens?
Well, at least you've given them the food yourself.
Oh.
And they're your pets and stuff, or your property.
Well, couldn't you make a gull your property somehow?
I don't know. Turtle eggs are slimy, but still so popular they had to make it illegal to sell or eat them in several states due to them being considered an aphrodisiac by some. Don't do it. They're too cute and endangered.
I think we talked about before how the turtles from the Galapagos were really delicious, and they kept trying to bring them back, and
people just kept eating them.
They kept eating them on the way back to England.
Yeah, Rafe, if a gull nicks your chips, you can have their eggs. I
There you
reckon
go.
that's fair. Oh, no, I feel bad now. That's their baby, isn't it? Finally,
yes,
snail eggs are being marketed as white caviar, and they taste of grass and mushrooms. And all the rich people are super getting into them. So, real concepts now. Why is the vortex pulling them in?
I don't have any answers.
Why does the vortex want Picard?
It thinks that he's the brain and that the Enterprise is an entity. It's a living thing. It's a one thing, and that he is the brain of the entity. And in a way, he is.
And then is it just curious about this entity?
I guess so. But my question is, why would you attack somebody's brain or want their brain out of their body or to destroy the ship? Or it's all very bizarre.
Rafe saying the original explanation was that it was Q. I read that too, that they were trying to set it up for a few episodes from now. That would make a bit more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But Roddenberry nixed that idea.
Oh,
of course he did.
Of course he did.
How does it zap Picard personally?
Space tech that is beyond our understanding.
Jason Raybird says, zombies?
Zombies.
It's probably
That's
them doing it, isn't it? Why does going through the vortex help them to get out?
See, I think what the problem is you're trying to understand things that are beyond human understanding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's because they love the brains, Jason. Why not, Peter? That's it. Yeah, we'll carry on. Yeah, that's a good explanation. How is future Picard's body here, but his mind's there still?
Well, it's not that his mind is there, because his body is also out of sync as well. So it's his mind and his body are both out of sync with time.
Mm.
Because remember, when she gives him the drugs, they have the opposite effect on him. So
those are concepts. We've kind of had them before, but better. Mark says because they had to end it somehow. This is the answer to our questions. Well, I liked the invisible sickbay restraints.
Yeah,
they were good.
The force field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crossing dimensions. It wasn't. I thought it was. I've written that down now. Time travel. A road with no turns, they called it, because no matter what they did, they thought it was just going to bring them back to the disaster.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Meeting yourself and assuming you've shamed yourself is the personal concept there.
That's an idea. Yeah, like that if you might make a mistake in the future or saw evidence that somehow you were going to make some big mistake and that you felt like you were destined to continue to commit that mistake. That's sort of an interesting idea. It was not well executed in this episode.
Yeah, and I would think that Picard would need more information or more of a push to get to the stage he did of doubting himself, assuming he'd done that. Troy was involved, kind of inconsistently so. And I'm not really sure about the use of her. I'm glad she was there, but she just seemed quite annoyed with people most of the time.
Well, good reason.
Well, it's a very stressful situation. So what are we going to give it for concepts? There's not really anything new, and what is newish is not really explained.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a 3.
Yeah, 3.
Entertainment.
So boring. So much filler. You give me 2 Picards and one of them's asleep the whole time now. It's hardly a double Kirk episode, is it?
Not even close.
Not even they did pretty well with the camera trickery, I thought.
Yeah.
They had him even going through the same doorway as himself at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But then, have a fight or something.
Yeah.
At least.
Or kiss. Something. Yeah. It was pretty boring.
Everyone gave it their best shot as usual, acting wise.
Yeah.
And the camera work and all of that. Geordie had some nice stuff to do.
Yeah.
Even Pulaski, thought she did a good job with what she had.
Yeah.
What drag though?
Yeah.
But there was a nice shot of Geordie with the warp core behind him. That was a beautiful piece of cinematography.
Yeah.
It's sad when you notice that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know how much of it has been remastered, but there were some really nice effects and camera trickery.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't give it any more than 3.
Yeah. Entertainment 3. Yeah, 3. It feels like a solid 3.
A goose egg. Pizza. Yep. LSEP meets MSEC. What's that? Low self-esteem Picard meets. What is it?
Self-esteem Klingon? M self-esteem Klingon?
M self-esteem.
Maximum
self-esteem Klingon. What? Oh, low self-esteem. No, low self-esteem. Now it's changed. Oh gosh, Forrest, we've got trapped in your acronyms. So, what's your? Did you say 3 as well?
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Sexiness. Troy, I guess. She was in quite a bit. She looked nice.
Yeah, but I mean,
usual.
No more than usual. 2.5.
Yeah. Low self-esteem writers.
Oh, there we go.
Bob's saying it is anyway.
Yeah. Stupid experts.
Well, I've put why wouldn't future Picard help? Most of the time he was out of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But even when he came around, he wouldn't help, would he? Didn't really get that.
He was very narrow focused. He was stuck in his thing.
He still thought he was escaping for the first time or something. But he'd seen himself.
Yeah. But we don't know. Well, actually, the way it turned out, he didn't see himself in the past. So this was the first time that he went back in time and then made a new timeline. And then he disappeared because the timeline that he came from never existed.
Oh.
But he didn't. That was the big question of the episode was, are we in a loop or are we in an alternate timeline? Answer, they were in an alternate timeline. So, okay. I guess that's interesting.
I forgot it was supposed to be a joke that I was doing. Why wouldn't future Picard help? He couldn't engage. Do you get it?
Oh, right.
Yeah, really good.
Your phone is doing weird stuff to the sound there, so that's why.
Oh, okay. He was just off his tits the whole time.
He was off his tits.
My guess is, I thought he was from another dimension. No. I hoped shenanigans would ensue and people would confuse one for the other. No, we didn't even get any of that.
No.
Rafe's saying this is the joint 17th worst episode ever. I think I've scored it too high then. Let's give it a 2 for entertainment, Rafe. Let's take it down. It seems like it should be lower.
No, 17th worst. That is that's pretty far out of all the episodes we've watched.
A lot.
Over 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. There's a lot of bad episodes. Let's stick with that.
And I thought he'd be naughty and pompous, but not evil.
No.
That Data will solve it and Guinan will counsel one of them. No. Yeah, Data was involved, but no.
No, Guinan. No, you were pretty wrong on all that stuff.
Bob Kelly says we're still being too nice with the scores we get.
Well, it's still Star Trek. I can't help it. I have love in my heart. Even when it's bad, it's good, No.
But I love all you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I love all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. And without your support, we would not keep doing the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And those lieutenant commanders who are there watching right now, I'm going to be getting in touch this week to set up our next hang. So I look forward to seeing you on there.
That's going to be
Thank you, everybody who's joined us as well, and everybody who's listening when we make this into the podcast. And let's see if we need anything else to say before we go.
Let's see. If there's any questions, but I think you guys know us enough that there probably isn't any questions.
What does this mean, Peter? Unconscious Picard versus Ferengi cod pieces. Oh, is that how bad it is, the Ferengi episode? Oh, watch the screen. Good job you mentioned it. Thanks, Andrew.
It just stopped. I saw it do it.
Oh yeah, I'm being space today, Bob, because the only Star Trek outfit I've got is an original series one. So I'm just wearing a dress. That's
you're space.
I'm
you
space.
are space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am
obviously
space.
you're space. It's true.
It's got long sleeves. It's a comfy, glitzy dress. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Joint with TNG, The Last Outpost.
Oh, golly.
What was that? Was that one of the first?
That was the
ones?
Ferengi. Yeah, that was the Ferengi
yeah.
one. The
That
first
was
one's Ferengis. That was
yeah, and
really,
defensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did not like it. I thought Chris was grabbing his Marauder Mo Ferengi action figures.
Oh no, you haven't got any up yet.
I don't have any action figures from Star Trek. I did before I made the move to England, but
oh yeah, you make your females wear clothes, says Rick. Yeah, right, exactly. And thanks, Rebecca.
all right. So yeah, not much is going on here in the UK.
No, from a golden age of television.
Yeah, we're really enjoying Ted Lasso. I've started watching Raised by Wolves, the Ridley Scott android human sci-fi thing. That is some crazy out there, mind-blowing stuff. That's nutty. Yeah.
Too much for you.
It's just like, whoa. It makes me feel like I'm on a Yes album cover almost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this going to them or just to that?
No, that's just going to
that anymore. Then.
Well, we haven't signed out of our show yet.
All right. And with that, I'm Rachel Lackey.
And I'm Chris Lackey.
And you've been listening to
Rachel Watches Star Trek.
Woo!
Okay, now we can just talk.
And an amazing film was The Mitchells versus the Machine. Don't know if anyone's seen that on Netflix yet.
It's on Netflix.
It's a family film, but I'd watch it without kids as well.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous.
It's so good.
Really funny.
Animation's great.
Super heartfelt.
Yeah.
If you're a child of a parent or a parent of a child, you'll get a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it as a daughter as well as a mother. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Bye, Forrest.
Bye, Forrest. Yeah, it was so good. Really thoughtful. It's the same people that made
the Lego Movie
and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that sort of thing. If you like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I think you'd probably like this.
Yeah. Bye, Keith. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Keith.
Has anybody got any good recommendations before you go of things that you've watched lately?
We also watched Mitchell and Webb's Back.
Oh, that's pretty good.
2 seasons of that. That was pretty entertaining as well.
The audiobook Fuzzy Nation is a great sci-fi story.
Fuzzy Nation? No, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, what's that about, Mark?
I just finished the culture book, The Player of Games, which I really enjoyed, and I was blown away by the fact it was written in 1988 because it feels like a very modern.
Oh yeah.
People, Shadow and Bone. See?
Oh right, yeah. We need to watch that. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Stefan said.
I watched it. It's so good.
And Bob said, what was the name of the show again? Which one was it? Was it
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso?
Back with Mitchell and Webb? Yeah. Or Raised by Wolves, the sci-fi one, Ridley Scott's. Here I think it was on HBO Max in America, but here it's on Sky. So I'm able to watch it on Sky Atlantic.
Oh, what's narrated by Will Wheaton? Is that the name of the show, or is something narrated by him?
No, I think the book that...
Fuzzy Nation.
Fuzzy Nation is recommended.
Great. And the Amber Ruffin Show, what's that, Alison?
Tales from the Loop. I watched the first 2 episodes. I actually play the role-playing game. I do.
Your face just went so proud.
Actually, I do. No, it's not proud. It's just it was weird to play a role-playing game, and then they made a television show based on this role-playing game, and it was good. I should go back to it. It's very atmospheric and sort of slow-paced, and I couldn't just relax and watch it.
Oh,
you
couldn't just slow yourself down enough to watch it. Yeah, that's tough. Princess Kaguya says Jason on Netflix.
Right, yeah, that's supposed to be really good. Invincible. I finished watching that. That's really good. It's a superhero animation, but it's pretty dark. It's based on a comic book that I used to read years ago. Another one, Bob Kelly liked Invincible as well.
Player of Games.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzzy Nation's about a company that discovers that natives of a planet that may be sentient.
Oh.
But that means the company would have to give up mining rights.
Mm.
Ooh, really violent. Oh, it's all coming in now.
There's another superhero one starting this week. Jupiter Ascending? That's an older movie, isn't it? Jupiter Ascending? Isn't that what the one with the real big eyes? What's her name? She was on that 70s show. And Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Remember that?
Oh,
the brunette?
Yeah.
She's great.
I don't know names. The Nevers.
The Nevers. Don't know the Nevers. Hellstrom. I've seen that's on. Is that good? People haven't watched it. Oh, okay.
Amber Ruffin. Okay, we'll check that out. Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter Ascending hasn't even come out yet. Okay, so what?
Well, loads of recommendations there. Okay, we'll check.
Different Jupiter thing. Okay.
And I'm going to send you patrons out a poll to do about some of the upcoming bonus content ideas that people have given us to see which ones are the most popular, the ones that you want the most. So I'll get that out.
I think it's after second season we decided we were going to watch Trouble on the Bridge, the documentary.
Oh yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it again, especially after watching the first 2 seasons of Next Gen.
Egg recipes for pizza.
Hey, we just figured out how to make poached eggs.
Thought it could never be done.
Yeah,
we didn't figure it out. My hero Ottolenghi told
us. Yeah.
So easy when you know how. What else was I going to say? We're doing a double bill of Discovery this month.
Yes.
So many of you'll be pleased to hear that. We're smashing 2 together that go together, and then you'll get 3 TNGs this month. It's
an extra long Discovery because we put 2 episodes in it, and we don't really give it short shrift. So
yeah, it's nearly an hour.
So it's extra content. But hopefully people have not been subscribing as much. Our subscriptions are down.
Or commenting as much on the Discovery one. So I think it's probably better to get through it.
We're thinking people might not be into Discovery.
Rafe says, best way to make poached eggs, fill a pan with water, put some vinegar in, pour them away and fry them instead. That's what we've been doing so far. But now we've discovered it. It's just great. Get it on a rolling boil, ease the egg in, 1.5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. I think we need to do a swirly though. We haven't been doing a swirly with
it. Some of the white ends up with the yolk. I'm pleased.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It's great.
Right. Okay. Stefan's confirming Trouble on the Bridge is about the first 2 seasons. So as soon as we finish season 2, we can get on that as bonus content.
It's just a great documentary.
John, it's breaking my heart how much you love Discovery. Watch Lower Decks. We can enjoy it together. Yeah, that's less divisive. Is it? And more people like it Lower Decks.
I think so. I've heard people complain that it's too loud, but there are so many rad references in there, like deep cuts of stuff.
Yeah,
like little.
I want to get some of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a bunch of them come from things that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
but
everyone's Alison, Rebecca, the women who want the Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
I'm not sure you'll get so much out of Lower Decks if you haven't seen all of Trek. Yeah, I'll get some once Donnie's into it. Be a good one to start.
Watch Strange New Worlds when that comes out.
Oh right, God. Is that another Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Paramount Plus, is that what it's called, or is it? Yeah, it's not CBS Plus anymore. It's Paramount Plus. They want to have Star Trek on all year.
Wow.
So there are 5 Star Trek series. There's Picard, Discovery, New Worlds, Lower Decks.
Oh, Captain Pike's.
Captain Pike's, yeah.
Yet another Star Trek, Rachel. Yeah.
You're never going to catch up.
Oh, thanks, Alison.
Thank you, Alison.
Love you too. Glad you were here. Thanks for coming from work. Of course, we had a day off today because it's a bank holiday in England. Right. Oh, yeah, short treks. We still need to do that as well, don't we?
All right, yeah.
Oh, so many.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Prodigy, the Halo, Janeway one. Oh, yeah, that's right, Prodigy. It's more aimed at kids.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Janeway's going to be on who's from Voyager.
We got to pick up the pace, says Peter. Just churn out an episode a day.
We can't do it.
Oh yeah, ask Rachel from the future to beam back information. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Sounds really good.
Just the episodes
get me cloned
from the. Well, no, she would send back the episodes from the future.
Yeah,
and then we can just release those.
Yeah,
see? Easy peasy.
That makes as much sense to this episode anyway. Skip to Enterprise, best theme tune ever. That's the only reason I want to watch something.
Been a long road getting from here to there.
Oh,
that's all I remember.
Rafe's crazy doubles from 6 hours in the future typed that. Sorry. John says, please do not skip to Enterprise. We gotta get through.
Poor Enterprise, yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up now.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Always lovely to hang out with you. Best part of the Star Trek month for me. So
yes,
lots of love.
It's really great, and thank you so much for your support.
Yes.
And if you haven't let your friends know about our podcast,
yeah, they have. These are the golden fans
and
friends.
Tell them about it. I think it's a good show.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.